Are you okay? Did you get too nervous?
I'm really sorry for getting sick right before seeing your family. I didn't think I'd get a stomachache at such a time. I've always had a sensitive stomach, so I guess the thought of announcing our marriage made me nervous and got me sick. I'm at my doctor's office right now, and they're putting in an IV.
IV? I'm going to your hospital. Where are you?
It's okay. Since it's been a while since you've been at your parents' home, you should relax. I'll go visit again.
But I'm worried about you.
I'm really sorry. My schedule wouldn't allow me to go to your parents for long, and just when I was finally going to go meet them, I suddenly get this upset stomach just a footsteps away from their house.
Well, you can't help it if you get a stomachache. I also got so nervous and had a heartache when I went to meet your parents, you know.
Please apologize to them for me. I'm sorry that I couldn't make it, even though they worked out the schedule for us.
That's okay. My parents are just worried, not angry.
I'll set up another date to visit them again. After this IV drip, I'm going to get some lab tests just to make sure I'm fine. He's my family doctor, so he knows me better than myself. He's even willing to admit me for a full checkup. I'll leave it in the doctor's hands.
I've never noticed you had a sensitive stomach.
Well, it's only when I'm under a lot of pressure or when I'm extremely nervous. I'm sorry for leaving you alone to come to the hospital when I suddenly got this stomachache right in front of your house.
I'm okay. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
Thank you.
I don't know if this is the right time to say this, but we were supposed to announce the marriage today and then go check out the wedding venue the following weekend, right? You want to postpone it just in case?
Yeah, I guess. I don't think it's a good idea to go ahead planning the wedding without officially announcing it to your parents. I'm sorry, but could you cancel the appointment?
Of course, I'll let them know.
Thank you. I'm just in the hospital for a checkup. I'll call you when I'm settled.
Okay. If you need me to do any house chores or cooking or anything, just let me know.
Thank you.
Take care. Nice to meet you. I hope I have the right number for Anna. Who is this? I'm glad you responded. I was afraid that you might ignore me. My name is Rosalie. Doesn't my name ring a bell? I'm sorry. It doesn't. Oh my God, you really are insensitive. I'm the daughter of the president of the construction company where your current fiancé, Rick, works. The president's daughter? How do you know my number? Why would you contact me? Rick gave me your number. Rick told you? Why? Because I wanted to speak with you directly. How can I help you? Let me get straight to the point. I'd like you to break up with Rick. Break up? Too much insensitivity is not cute. Be careful. I'm sorry. What on earth is that supposed to mean? Why is there talk of him and I breaking up? We're engaged, you know. But he hasn't even met your parents yet. Isn't that right? How do you know about that? Of course, because Rick told me. He told me he couldn't make it to your parents' place. We were just about to set up a new schedule. But he hasn't set up a schedule for over a month, right? Shouldn't you have noticed by now that he has no intention of marrying you? He has no intention of getting married? He's postponed the wedding and the meeting with both of your families. Not a single thing is in progress, right? Then you should have guessed. He has no intention of marrying you at all. He'd rather break up with you. Wait a minute. He said that? Yes. That's what he's been saying. I heard it with my own ears. We've been seeing each other every day lately.
You see each other every day?
We go on dates after work and on weekends too, to develop our romantic relationship.
Does that mean he's been cheating on me?
We're engaged.
You knew that, right?
Well, you're about to break off the engagement, right?
How can he date another woman when he's engaged in the first place?
It's your fault, you know. Because you're poor.
Poor?
He said you seem to wear nice things, but it turns out that you're actually poor.
What? I am not poor.
But your parents' house looks shabby, doesn't it? We live on the 12th floor of a luxury tower apartment. My father is the president of a construction company, so he used his connections to move into the newly built tower complex. I need Rick to become the next president of our company. Please break up with him quickly.
The next president? That man?
I'm going to support him as his wife. Dad always said he wanted a son who would be his right-hand man. Then it would be quicker for me to get a son-in-law who would be taken in by my family.
Let me get this straight. In other words, you're the daughter of the president of Rick's company. He said my parents were poor and switched to you. That means he cheated on me, right?
I guess that's what it means. But it's your fault that he cheated on you, so please accept it. He showed me a picture of your parents' house that he took secretly. I was surprised at how old it looked. It's in shambles and seems like a tower apartment is just a dream you will never realize. That house is for poor people to live in.
Yes, it's old, but it's a valuable piece of architecture.
Of course, a house so old and run down that makes people wonder if it's possible to live in must be very valuable. I had never seen a house like that before, so I thought it was a fossil.
Fossil.
Well, to sum it up, you are poor. Rick's future was uncertain, so he decided to marry me, the president's daughter, to become the next president. That's why I've gone out of my way to contact you to ask you to do me a favor, to break up with him. Do you understand?
I understand very well. It's hard to imagine that marriage would be on the table in just a month. I'm sure you've been in a relationship for a long time. Two-timing with me.
You're right. You're perceptive there. I'm glad to know you weren't just an insensitive old woman. To tell the truth, we've been dating for a long time. I mean, Rick is my type of guy. But he said he already had a girlfriend, so I had to go all out. He's mine now.
I'll have a talk with him.
Of course. Neither his will nor my feelings will change one bit, though. But please go ahead and try your best.
Rick, what's going on? I just got a call from someone who claims to be the daughter of the president of your company. She told me that you don't want to marry me. Yeah, that's all true.
Seriously?
I've been trying to figure out how to bring it up. You know, I'm a gentleman. I don't like seeing women sad, so I didn't want you to cry, even if I was breaking up with you. Is that why you gave her my number? Well, I think Rosalie covered up most of the part. So, let's break up. I can't be with someone who can't share my values. Values? I just can't have poor people as my family. I don't want your parents to take advantage of me in the future.
They would never do such a thing.
I was surprised when I saw that wrecked house. I figured you're the kind of person who wants to show off. You know, the things you were wearing were nice things. But your parents were poor. I didn't realize you were one of those people with a big ego, overdressed and trying to look greater than they actually are.
Was that actually all a lie? About the stomachache and going to the hospital upon seeing my parents' house? Also, having a sensitive stomach when having nerves?
Of course it's all a lie. If I went in there and introduced myself to your parents, I wouldn't be able to escape, would I?
No way.
I weighed you and Rosalie, but your looks were more my type. Rosalie is too spoiled with money. You were wearing brand name clothes, and you didn't seem to have any financial problems. I thought I could have a better future with you. But if your parents are poor, that would be a different story, wouldn't it?
I'm not poor.
I can't believe your words. I saw it with my own eyes. The wretched state of your house. Rosalie said she'd make me president if I married her. It seems like my life would be easier if I switched to her, so I'll marry her.
You don't think that's irresponsible?
Not really. I'm just making the best choice for my future happiness.
And that means breaking up with me?
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather have a rich girl than you, whose parents' house is old-fashioned on a fossil level. I can't marry a girl from a poor family.
Okay, don't regret it.
I won't.
We didn't even discuss the details of the wedding. It's a good thing we weren't living together. We'll just say goodbye and stay out of each other's lives. Deal?
Don't dwell on me. Hey, return my messages.
Why all of a sudden? I thought the deal was to stay out of each other's lives.
You didn't block my number. The truth is that you wanted to get in touch with me, right?
I simply forgot about you.
You don't have to lie. I don't mind getting back together with you. That's why I contacted you.
Are you trying to get back together because you saw on Facebook that I bought a cottage in Hawaii?
No. Of course not. There are some things you can see when you're apart from each other. I realized you're better than Rosalie.
No need to patch things up. It's true I bought a cottage in Hawaii, but I'm never gonna get back together with you.
Why not?
Don't you remember you cheated on me and then dumped me without a second thought?
I didn't know that you were making enough money to buy a vacation home in Hawaii. Come to think of it, it's your family that's poor, not you. You even own luxury goods. As long as we keep a reasonable distance from your parents, we'll be fine.
It was my father who bought me that cottage in Hawaii.
Your father? What?
Actually, my father is much wealthier than I am. I think he has more money than the president of the construction company you work for.
No way! What are you talking about? I mean, that house was such a wreck.
It's a very old house, that's for sure. It's so old that it became a registered historic property.
A registered historic property?
It was built in the 1700s. To someone who doesn't know much about history, it just looks like an old house. But I've always been very proud of my parents' house. So I was shocked by our differences in values.
Wait, the 1700s?
My family has been a landowner for generations. And not just in that area. We've been doing a lot of real estate business, and we own land all over the country. So, my parents have several holiday homes. It was hard to schedule a time to meet them, wasn't it? That's because they don't spend much time at their old house.
Real estate business? Have land all over the country? You mean they're super rich?
I don't know about annual sales or that sort of thing. But I don't remember having any financial problems since I was a little kid. By the way, I heard that they bought the top floor of a newly built tower apartment as a vacation home recently. I heard Rosalie's parents live on the 12th floor of the same building.
The top floor of that tower building? Only people of a very high status can live there. You're kidding, right? Does that mean I missed out on a woman with more money than Rosalie?
It's rude to judge a woman's worth by money.
Anna, let's get back together after all. We can start over right now.
There's no way we can get back together. You've been so open about your feelings and dumped me on the spot. Do you still think there's a way to fix it? Do you really think I still have feelings for you?
I don't need to become the next president. I just want to be with you.
Don't lie to me. Anyone can see through your lies. There's no way you can be the next president in the first place.
No, if I choose Rosalie, I'll be the next president, and she'll be the next wife of the president, right?
Wait, that construction company is in trouble, right?
What are you talking about?
Are you telling me that the employees at the end of the line don't know anything about this? Well, you're going to find out very soon anyway. I'm sure it'll be in the news today or tomorrow. It's a well-known story in the real estate industry. A construction company that's been making money out of pretty dirty deals is finally getting sued.
Sued?
In the last year or so, the real estate companies that do business properly have been cutting ties with the construction company you work for. Don't you remember I made several recommendations to you to look for other jobs?
I recall something like that.
It was tough for an individual to sue, but recently, a patron appeared and promised to help those who wouldn't sue the company because they didn't have the money. He promised to help them pay all their legal fees.
What the hell?
And then, one after another appeared, and all the individuals who were troubled by the defective houses made by the construction company started to gather together. The group grew into a kind of victims group for lawsuits. That patron prepared a good lawyer who knows about real estate and construction. It's going to be a big class action lawsuit.
I've never heard of such a thing. What happens if they lose the case?
The company will probably go bankrupt when the huge damage claim comes through. The president might have to think about disposing of the condo and other assets he owns.
Then, if the company goes to court and loses, I won't be able to become the next president. Does that mean the president and his daughter Rosalie will both be in poverty?
I don't know about that.
So you're saying that I should have chosen you instead of Rosalie?
I can't say anything about that either.
Oh, right. Your father owns a real estate company, right, Anna? I worked for a construction company, so I'm not from the wrong field. Please hire me. We'll also set up the meeting with your parents right away to announce our wedding.
Sorry to interrupt your excitement, but I have no intention of starting over with you at all. My mother already set me up with a matchmaker. I'm going on a date with a decent guy this weekend.
A matchmaker? A date?
I liked your personality, Rick, but it seems like that was disguise. I know exactly what you are now. I'll never fall in love with you again.
Don't say that. You should have given me another chance.
You had your chance, didn't you? I don't know if I should say this, but you had a great chance to ride on the other side of the coin. But because of your lack of knowledge, you judged that house to be trash when it was a historical cultural asset. You irresponsibly threw your chance away and ran away.
But I didn't know.
Not knowing is an excuse for kids. Well, I have to go order some new furniture for my vacation home in Hawaii. Bye.
Wait a minute, Anna.
Next time, I'll remember to block you and delete your contact info. I blocked and erased his contacts, so I don't know the details. Apparently, the lawsuit was reported in the media by the end of the day, and the construction company quickly went bankrupt. According to my father's story, there was an empty room on the 12th floor of the tower apartment. They probably got rid of the property as well. It is unclear if he and Rosalie are still together. A friend of mine recently told me that he posted on SNS that he was lonely and miserable. I guess he has broken up with his girlfriend and is enjoying being alone, in a way.
Adeline, what the hell are you doing?
Ah, Hazel. Long time no see. I'm fine, thank you. Why do you ask?
Don't play dumb with me. You've been avoiding me for weeks. How could you hide such a big thing from me? How could you betray me like that?
I'm sorry. I've been swamped with work and stuff.
Yes, I know all about your work and stuff. You bought a condo, right? A fancy one in a skyscraper. That's incredible. My son Dylan must have spent a fortune on it.
How did you find out about that? I was going to tell you when everything was done. I've been so stressed out with the move. I'm sorry I didn't keep in touch.
Oh, you should have told me, Adeline. You should have told me right away. I was shocked when I heard about it from someone else. You're moving to a skyscraper in New York City. You're living the high life with Dylan, Adeline. You should thank Dylan for making you part of the elite.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was fine with the apartment we used to live in. But Dylan wanted to move to a skyscraper. He said it was his dream.
A skyscraper? He deserves it. He told me he got promoted to department manager. He's a genius, just like his father. He wouldn't settle for a dump like the one you lived in. He did the right thing by ignoring your whining. You should be grateful to my son, Adeline. He's the one who's supporting you.
Oh, come on.
So I'm thinking of dropping by our new place soon. How about tomorrow? Are you free?
What? Tomorrow? No, Hazel, that's not a good idea. We just moved in, so it's a mess. And I have so much to do because of the move, so I really can't have you over.
You just moved in. It's been a month, hasn't it? How long does it take to unpack? You're not lying to me, are you?
I'm not lying. I have a job too. I can't spend all day cleaning.
What job? You're a housewife, aren't you? Your priority is to keep the house tidy, right?
It's not that simple. You know, this month the kids have a lot of school events, so I'm busy with that. I've done most of the living room, but Dylan hasn't touched his stuff. There are still boxes everywhere.
Why don't you just do it for him? What a lazy wife. Dylan gave you a chance to live in a skyscraper. And you can't even clean up for him. You're failing as my son's wife.
I have a job too, you know. I have to take care of myself too. I do most of the childcare and the housework.
Of course you do. Your job doesn't pay much anyway. It's your duty as a woman to do the housework. It's your duty as a woman to please your husband. So stop making excuses and get it done.
Ugh.
Oh, yes. How are my precious grandchildren? I haven't seen them in a while. I miss them.
They're fine. They're in the upper grades of elementary now, so they have a lot of activities and friends.
I'm glad to hear that. They're smart, just like me and Dylan. They have our blood in them. You have to bring them to see me more often. They need to know how lucky they are to have my son as their father, and me as their grandmother. Do you get that, or do I have to spell it out for you? You're such a selfish wife. I'm so happy that my grandchildren are nothing like you.
I'm really sorry. I'll talk to the kids about that later. I'm sure they miss you too.
Oh my god, you're unbelievable. I guess I have no choice but to leave. If you're busy tomorrow, I'll come visit you this weekend. You'd better make sure that there are some delicious snacks and tea when I visit you. A good wife knows how to take care of such things.
This weekend? But I have plans this weekend. I can't just cancel them.
Of course you can. I just told you that I'll visit you. You said tomorrow doesn't work, so I'm being flexible and giving you a compromise. You should appreciate that.
I have a meeting at work. It's very important. You just gave me a short notice. And I can't make it because I have a prior engagement. I'm sorry, but I can't change that.
Don't be ridiculous. The most important thing is to reunite Grandma with the grandkids. They need to spend more time with me. Dylan said he'd be home this weekend. A good wife should be able to adjust her schedule to match her husband's. Why don't you take some time off to accommodate your husband's schedule? If you prioritize work meetings over your family, you won't be able to take care of your husband. You don't know the first thing about being a good wife.
I don't know why you're suddenly telling me this, but it's not fair. I have a job too.
Yes, whatever. I've heard enough of your excuses about being an incompetent wife. I'll eat dinner and go home. So, please take care of me. I'll even check your level of cooking. If you serve me a half-baked dish, I'll give you a private lecture about how to cook properly. You need to learn from me. See you later.
Wait, Hazel. You're being unreasonable. You can't just barge in like that. Oh dear.
Hey, Adeline. Isn't a high-rise amazing? It's the perfect place for brilliant people like me, my son, and my grandchildren to live. It feels so good to look down on people from a higher floor. It looks as if those poor people were crawling on the ground like ants.
Good evening, Hazel. How can I help you? Do you need something?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got lost in my own world. You know what? I'm so excited that I'm going to be able to live in that world. I can't wait to move in.
I'm sorry. I don't understand. Are you moving to a high-rise too? Did you buy a condo somewhere?
Yes, that's what I mean. I went to your place the other day and the thought just crossed my mind. I'm the one who deserves to live here. I just knew it. I felt it in my bones.
What? Are you telling me that you're moving in with us? I thought you bought a room at the high-rise yourself. You can't just decide that without consulting us.
Why would I have to buy one when I already have one I can live in? It's my son and his wife's house, which means it's also mine. I have every right to live there.
No, you can't have such an important matter decided without me and my husband's permission. I'll have to talk to Dylan about it. This is ridiculous.
Oh, you didn't hear from him? My son already agreed to it. He said he'd be happy to have me live with him.
What's that? I haven't heard that at all. He didn't tell me anything about it. When did he agree to that?
Living in a high-rise will give me peace of mind in my old age. I've been thinking that it's about time Dylan and I moved in together. It's a good thing he bought a condo. I'll get my stuff there tomorrow, so please clean up the mess. Make some room for me.
Are you kidding me? Wait a minute. That's too selfish. You can't move into the house since we don't have enough room. Each of the four of us has our own room. The only space available is the living room. Where are you going to sleep?
You don't need a room of your own, Adeline. When I saw it the other day, I liked the view from your room the best. Starting tomorrow, that'll be my room. I won't hear any objections. You should sleep in the living room. That's good enough for you. You should be thankful that you live in a high-rise. You don't deserve it.
I can't do that. I take my work home with me. Besides, I also do remote work some days in the week. I need a room where I can work in peace. Besides, it's such a short notice. I'll be at work tomorrow, so I won't be able to pick up the packages. You can't just show up like that.
Adeline, do you know what? You're not doing much work anyway, so why don't you just take a day off? Your mother-in-law just told you that she's moving out. It's your duty as my son's wife to take a day off from your work and greet her politely. You must be really incompetent if you don't understand that. I really feel sorry for Dylan, who married a terrible person like you.
Huh? I told you that I can't do that. So please understand, Hazel. Dylan knows that you are moving in, right? Then he's the one who should take a day off to help you. I didn't know about the move until a few minutes ago, so I can't take a day off if you suddenly ask me to.
You really are an idiot. My son has an important job to support his family. He can't just suddenly take a day off. You seem to have a strange pride in your work. You earn less than Dylan. You have no responsibility. And your job is worthless, right? It's natural for a woman to be a housewife and take care of the family. But you're just too proud to do so. But to make my son the breadwinner of the family take a day off because of your petty pride is beyond insane. You are such a useless wife that you can't even understand such a thing. When I move there, you'll have to educate your children well. They shouldn't grow up to be a person like you. Anyway, tomorrow when you get my stuff, take everything out of the cardboard boxes and organize them. Since you seem to have a lot of good furniture, you can keep those in your room. I'll use it. I'll be there tomorrow for dinner. If it's not done when I get there, I won't forgive you. I'll make you regret it.
That's absurd. You really are troubling me. I won't give up my room or my furniture. They are mine. I bought them with my own money. If you love Dylan so much, then you should use his room. He's your son, after all. You should take care of the moving by yourself, since I won't be able to help you. I have a job, you know.
I already reserved a moving company. Also, I signed a contract to sell the house I've been living in. I can't change the date. It's already done. Besides, Dylan needs his private time too. It's true that me and my son get along well together, but I don't like the idea of us sharing the same bedroom. So I can't take your suggestion. As a wife, you should live your life with us as a family. You should respect me as your mother-in-law. I'm taking care of a useless wife like you without abandoning you. You should be grateful for that. Why are you being so selfish?
Taking care of me? Dylan doesn't take care of the house chores and looks after the kids at all. I'm the one doing all of them. I'm the one who cooks, cleans, does the laundry, helps the kids with their homework, and everything else. And on top of that, you insist on moving in with us. It's beyond unreasonable.
You just can't do it because you're a bad wife. You're not even aware that it's normal for a mother-in-law to move in with her son and his family. I'm gonna give you a good lesson. You should be grateful to me for teaching you the common sense of this world. Even though you're an insane, useless wife, you're able to live in a high-rise thanks to me and my son. We are the ones who made it possible. See you tomorrow.
Wait, Hazel. I can't believe it. You can't do this to me. This is our home. You can't just barge in and ruin everything.
Hey, Adeline. What are you doing? You don't have to come home again. You're not welcome here anymore.
What are you talking about all of a sudden? What's wrong with you? Did something happen?
Don't you dare talk to me like that. You have no right to act innocent. Dylan told me everything about you. I heard you're having an affair with some other man while he's supporting you. You ungrateful bastard. You're not only useless, but you're also betraying your husband. What a despicable wife. How could you do that to him?
What? Another mysterious accusation? I never committed adultery. That's a lie. Did Dylan really say that? Why would he say such a thing?
My sweet son was crying and asking me for advice. He said he's thinking of divorcing you because you're having an affair. He said he can't stand the sight of you anymore. He let a useless wife like you live in a high-rise, but you betrayed him. You broke his heart. No wonder he's in shock. That's why I won't ever let you enter the house when you get back. You don't deserve to live here.
Ugh, well, that's fine. I'm not going back there. I don't want to see you or him either.
No, you're such a good girl. Are you going to elope with your boyfriend? Are you going to run away from your responsibilities? What an irresponsible mother. Well, that's convenient for us. So you can do what you want. We'll get full custody of the kids, of course. You'll never see your beautiful children again. I'll educate them in the ways of the upper class and raise them to be respectable children. They'll forget about you soon enough.
Hazel, you always have such interesting things to say. You've got it all wrong, and you're so proud of yourself. Unfortunately, the children will never go back to that house again. The only ones who'll remain there are you and Dylan. You can have each other.
Huh? What on earth are you talking about? What do you mean the children will never go back to that house again?
I'm in the process of cleaning up the new house where me and my children will live. I've told the kids where this house is. I guess it's about time they come home. We will start a new life here. A better life. So you and Dylan can live in harmony without me and the kids. I know you're going to have a lot of trouble in the future, but good luck anyway. You'll need it.
I don't get it. What do you mean that you've got yourself a new house? Where did you get the money for that? How did you find a place so quickly?
You are being deceived by your dearly beloved son. You know that? Dylan is the one who is actually having an affair. He's been cheating on me for months. He's the one who ruined our marriage.
Seriously? A kind and serious boy like Dylan having an affair? He would never do such a thing. You're just trying to put the blame on my son, aren't you? Wow, I'm speechless. You're unbelievable.
You love your son very much. You may find this hard to believe, but it's the truth. I have the proof with me, so you can't get away with it. I can show you if you want.
If you have the proof, then show me. It's a lie you made up anyway, isn't it? You're just trying to destroy my family.
I'll show it to you if you want to see it. This is the proof that your son is having an affair. This is the picture that my friend took of them in a luxury hotel. They were kissing and hugging in the lobby. Before we moved into the high-rise, I knew something was wrong. I noticed that he often went out alone on his days off. He said he had some errands to run, but he never told me what they were. He usually doesn't work overtime, since his workload isn't that much. But then he told me that he wants to move to a high-rise for the future. He said it was his dream to live in a skyscraper. I thought he was spending his time outside to do some research for the property, but I was wrong. He was spending time with his lover. I was cleaning Dylan's room shortly after we moved in. I found women's jewelry that wasn't mine under the bed. So I took a sneak peek at Dylan's cell phone and was convinced that he was having an affair. He had dozens of messages and photos from his lover. He even called her by a pet name. Dylan brought his lover into the apartment we just moved into. He cheated on me in our own bed.
Really? Even if that's true, what drove my son to the point of considering divorce is your fault. Because you are such a useless wife. That's why he decided to have an affair. He was looking for someone who could give him what you couldn't. You're getting carried away by saying you have the proof. You are the main cause Dylan wants a divorce. A useless wife like you is not supposed to talk so proudly like that. You should be ashamed of yourself.
How dare you say that I'm useless? Since this is the last time, I'm going to say what I want to say to you. I paid for that high-rise with all my money. Dylan didn't pay a single cent. He didn't even have enough savings to buy a condo. Therefore, the ownership of the room is mine.
Huh? Stop talking nonsense. Do you think you can afford that when you don't even have a proper job? You're just a housewife. You don't have any income. You should think more carefully before you lie. You're getting carried away by saying you've moved. But perhaps you still miss the high-rise, don't you? You're just trying to steal it away from us by telling some random lies. I won't be fooled by that. You're just jealous of us.
On the contrary, do you think someone who gets paid with a modest amount of salary can afford to pay for a high-rise? Do you think someone who barely works can afford to pay for a high-rise?
What are you talking about? Dylan is only 40 years old and he's been promoted to be the department manager. He's not just an ordinary office worker. He is an upper-class, super elite office worker. He has a lot of power and influence.
Dylan hasn't been promoted. Not only is he still a section chief, but I heard that he's in danger of being demoted.
What? That can't be true.
I started my own company when my children enrolled at elementary school. After my company got off the ground, Dylan gradually changed. He became lazy and arrogant. At work, he seems to be handing over his work to his colleagues and doing nothing these days. Even when he was in danger of being demoted, he continued to slack off and had no sense of crisis at all. I guess he thinks that if he gets fired, he'll be fine because I'm there to support him. He thinks he can live off my money. Although he is no longer doing housework, childcare, or even working, he is still a father. I was holding out on the divorce for the sake of the children. I didn't want to break up the family.
What? Are you saying that my son is lying to me?
That's right. Because you always say that you love your son so much. Dylan just wanted to look good in front of other people. He wanted to impress you. So he said that he bought the high-rise with his own money anyway. Am I right? He said that he got promoted to be the department manager and that his salary will go up. He said all those things, but they were all lies.
Yes. Dylan said that. He said all those things and I believed him.
Both you and your son really disgust me. Dylan bought a high-rise with my money without paying a penny himself. He used my credit card without my permission. He forged my signature without my consent. He made up a story about my infidelity to kick me out so that he can get alimony from me and ownership of the high-rise. He planned to divorce me and take everything from me. He wanted to live with his lover in the high-rise that I paid for. The fact that you offered to live together with us was a good chance for Dylan. Because he can get rid of me without getting his own hands dirty. He can use you as his accomplice. Truly, you and your son are foolish, but it's too late. I already hired a lawyer, and I'm preparing for a trial. I'm going to sue him for everything he's done.
A trial? What trial? What are you talking about?
Yes. Before Dylan puts his plan into action, I'm glad that I caught the proof that he's having an affair. Since we already have all the evidence, Dylan's plan is no longer possible. Therefore, if you want to continue to live in that room, please discuss with your son and buy it from me. I will sell it to you at the market price. I won't raise the price, but I won't give you any discount either. By the way, Dylan seems to be paying a lot of money to his lover. I doubt he has much money saved up. He seems to have spent it all in anticipation of getting a lot of alimony from me. So, instead of buying a high-rise, I doubt he can even afford to pay for a living next month. He seems to be contributing more than his own salary by using credit cards.
Wait a minute. I don't get it at all. So you're saying that I can't live in this high-rise anymore after all the trouble I went through to get rid of you?
If you can't buy it at the market price, I'll have to ask you to leave. I will sell it to someone who is worthy of living there, not someone who can't even pay the rent. Oh, yeah, and I won't let you see your grandchildren at all from now on.
What? Stop joking. The children will be sad if they don't see their grandmother. You can have a divorce, but it's irresponsible of you as a parent to make the children sad.
They don't seem to miss you at all. Whenever they visited you, they said that you were speaking ill about me endlessly. You yelled at the store clerks whenever you went out with them. They have come to the point where they don't want to visit their grandmother anymore. Living with you for the past months has been very stressful for the kids. They were overjoyed when I told them that we were going to live in a different house.
Oh no. But you let them see my son, right? He's their father.
No, I won't let them see Dylan either. It seems that the children were aware of his infidelity. They said they heard a stranger's voice coming from their father's room on the day they came home early from morning classes. When I told them about the separation, they told me that their father asked them to keep that as a secret. What kind of father would allow his children to have such a nasty secret? I can't believe he would bring an adulterer into the house where his children live.
They are just kids. They'll forget about all of that soon. It's just one time. How can they hate their own father just because of that?
For kids, family troubles will always stay in their minds, even if it was just once. It's enough to make them not trust their father. I have a responsibility to protect my kids from people who can't understand such things. I will not let you and your son have anything to do with my kids from now on. Thank goodness that I didn't get lost. Well, then you'll be hearing from my lawyer for more details. Until then, enjoy your life in the high-rise for the time being. Goodbye.
Wait a minute, Adeline. Hey, let's talk about it. I have nowhere to live if this house is gone. Oh, please come back. I'll apologize. I beg you, please, Adeline.
And so, the divorce was final. Dylan had no money to pay for the high-rise. He and his mother were kicked out of there. On top of that, he had to pay me alimony and child support. His income was already low, but now it was even lower. His life became a living hell. My ex-husband, who hated his own family and wasted all his money on his affair, pleaded to stay with his lover, but she dumped him without a second thought. Now they live in a tiny room in a cheap old rundown apartment with no bathroom and a shared toilet. They live like brats. Later, a plan to build a huge commercial complex near the high-rise was announced, and the land prices skyrocketed. I was glad to sell the high-rise with a small loss. I'm now living happily with my children in my new house. I'm free from him and his mother.
Hey Vincent, I need to ask you something. Do you still live with Mom and Dad? I've been wondering about that for a while. Don't you think it's time to move out and be independent?
Oh, hey there, Brian. What's up? Why are you asking me that all of a sudden? Is there something wrong? Yeah, I do still live with them in their house. But it's not what you think. I have a good reason for staying with them.
Oh my God. You really do still live with them. Unbelievable. How can you be so comfortable with that? How much longer are you planning to live there? You're almost 30 years old, for crying out loud. You're not a teenager anymore. We're supposed to be adults. I can't believe you're still so dependent on Mom and Dad. Don't you have any pride or ambition?
Dependent on Mom and Dad? I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about. What makes you think that? I think I'm very independent already. I don't rely on them for anything. I pay my own bills and take care of myself.
Why don't you understand what I'm telling you? And why don't you answer my question? You're avoiding the issue. I'm asking you how much longer you're planning to live with our parents. You can't stay there forever. You really need to move out and start your own life. You need to find a job and a place to live.
I think that there have been lots of misunderstandings. You don't know the whole story. I work remotely from home, so I'm not unemployed at all. I have a stable and well-paying job as a web developer. I work for a reputable company and I have many clients and projects. I guess I don't leave the house that often, but that's because I'm working most of the time.
What the hell are you saying? I know that's a lie for sure. I'm not going to believe you. You're just making excuses. You're not the kind of person that's able to work from home. You're lazy and irresponsible. You probably just play video games and watch Netflix all day. You don't do anything useful or meaningful with your life.
What does that even mean? That's very rude and insulting of you to say that. I really don't understand why you're even texting me right now. Hurry up and just get to the point. What do you want from me? Why are you even complaining about me still living with Mom and Dad? It's none of your business where I live or how I live. I thought that you were planning to move back in with us. Aren't you in the same boat as me?
Yeah, I'm going to be moving back in from next month. But that's only temporary and for a good reason. It's not like I want to live with them again. I really don't like the fact that I've got to start living with you again. It's going to be awkward and annoying.
Then you're going to be in the same situation as me. You're going to be living with mom and dad too. I don't get why you're mocking me for living with mom and dad. It's not a bad thing to live with them. There's also a good reason why I'm still here. It's not because I'm lazy or dependent or anything like that.
Stop putting me in the same category as you. Our situations are completely different. You can't compare them at all. My new workplace is kind of close to our parents' house, and that's why I'm planning to move in temporarily. It's more convenient and cheaper for me to commute from there than from my old apartment. I don't plan on living there forever like you. It's just a short-term arrangement until I find a better place to live. I can't believe that I'm going to have to live with a 30-year-old loser like you.
You're calling me a loser now? We're only 2 years apart. And age is just a number anyway. It doesn't define who you are or what you can do. And I have a career and a future too. Thank you very much. I work as a web developer and I earn a decent salary. Why can't you just accept the fact that I work remotely from home? It's a normal thing to do these days. I am not dependent on mom and dad at all. I pay them rent and help them with the chores. I hope that you can be more understanding of my situation. We're going to be living together again after all.
Why should I try to get along with you? You're pretty much a parasite to this family. All you are is a nuisance. There's literally no reason for me to get along with you.
You don't need to worry about any of that. I'm not a nuisance at all. If you have no intention of getting along with me, then please, just leave me alone at least. We have our own rooms so we can mind our own business.
Actually, you're a nuisance just by living in the same house. You being in the house has a negative effect on everyone else. I'm going to be going out the house every day to work while you're being lazy at home. That's not fair at all.
I'm sorry, but I'm starting to lose my patience now. I told you that I'm working from home. I'm not being lazy at all. You really should stop caring so much about what I do. Just focus on your own life and career.
Ugh, I don't need someone like you to be giving me advice. Vincent, are you at home right now?
Yeah, I'm home right now. Do you need me for something? You never text me unless you want something from me. What is it this time?
You want to go on a road trip today? Just the two of us? I think it would be fun and relaxing. We could drive to the beach or the mountains or wherever you want.
What's the matter with you all of a sudden? I thought you hated me. You kept on ignoring all my messages till today.
There's no reason really. I just felt like asking you. We're siblings after all. I thought that we should spend some time together once in a while. Maybe we can get along better and understand each other more. Don't you think so?
I'm really surprised to be receiving a message like this from you. It's really rare for you to ask me to come out with you. You usually avoid me like the plague. Are you sure you're not up to something? Are you trying to trick me or prank me or something?
No way! So let's go on a short road trip then.
Yeah, I guess so. I kind of felt like driving actually. I'll be done with work in around an hour. I'll be free after that.
Did you really just say work? There's no need for you to pretend like that. I know that you're still unemployed.
So you still think that? I'm really not the pathetic kind of person that you think I am. I have a decent job and earn a decent salary. I'm also financially supporting our parents right now. I think they're very happy that I still live with them.
What are you talking about? That's all lies. If you were really working a decent job, you wouldn't still be living with mom and dad. You don't even leave the house at all.
There's actually a reason why I'm living like how I am. I can't really tell you the reason, but I hope that you can understand and respect my situation.
Yeah, whatever. You can stop with the fake stories now. Anyway, I'll come and pick you up in an hour then. Make sure that you're ready by that time.
Okay, fine. I guess I'll start getting ready. Where are you even planning on going?
Do you remember that mountain we used to go hiking at?
Yeah, I think so. I thought that mountain trail got closed off though.
I think the main trail has been closed off, but there are some other trails that we can go to. I heard it's a little dangerous, but I think we should give it a go.
Isn't that a place a little far away though? It's near where we used to live when we were back in high school.
Don't worry, it's not that far away. I don't think it's going to take 2 hours to drive there.
Why do you even want to go hiking there all of a sudden? Did you suddenly want to feel like a child again or something?
Yeah, something like that. I wanted to go somewhere nostalgic all of a sudden. It might be a little cold, so make sure that you dress up nice and warm.
Are we planning to be walking around for a while? This really is so sudden. I'm still kind of surprised.
I just thought it would be nice to have some time to ourselves. It's going to be a nice opportunity for us to start getting along well again.
I'm still a little confused, but it's starting to start kind of fun. I sort of wanted some time to be able to talk to you after all. This is going to be a good opportunity for that. I'll be waiting for you to arrive then.
I'll get there in a little bit. Wait, what? Why were you able to call me? I have your phone. There's no way you should be able to do this.
I have a second phone that I carry around with me. It's a backup phone in case of emergencies. You never know when you might need one. Anyway, that doesn't matter right now. Hurry up and pick up the phone. I need to talk to you urgently.
There's no point in you calling me. I don't have any intention of picking it up. I don't want to hear your voice or your lies. You've done enough damage already.
Are you serious? This better be a prank or something. You can't be cruel and just leave me stranded in the middle of nowhere.
I can't believe you have a second phone. You're supposed to be poor and unemployed. How can you afford to have 2 phones?
That doesn't matter right now. We have some more important things to solve. Hurry up and just answer the phone. Stop texting me and talk to me like a normal person. This is ridiculous.
I'm sorry, but I can't answer your call. I'm driving right now. I'm on my way back to our parents' house.
Then why are you sending me messages like this? You're driving and texting at the same time? That's very dangerous and irresponsible of you. You could cause an accident or hurt someone.
Stop contacting me, you piece of trash.
Where the hell are you? I can't believe that you ditched me in the middle of this mountain.
I'm sorry, but I just got to the bottom of the mountain with my car. I'm just about to get back onto the main road now. You have no place in this house anymore. Go and find a job and a place to live by yourself. You really need to start being more independent.
I can't believe you're doing this to me. What the hell is wrong with you? I guess this was your intention from the very start. I should have known. Your plan was to abandon me in this mountain all by myself. You're such a psycho.
Yeah, maybe that was my plan from the very start. Unfortunately, you're never going to know the answer.
What the hell is wrong with you? It was stupid of me to trust you in the first place. I should have known that something was wrong.
There's no need for you to come back home anymore. You understand how I feel about you now, right? Don't ever show your face in front of me again. You're a huge nuisance to our entire family.
I totally understand how you feel about me now. I'm going to come home to collect my belongings then. Don't bother going into my room, by the way. I'll move out as soon as I collect everything that's mine. That's fine, right?
Actually, I'll dispose of all your belongings for you.
There's no need to do that. One of my friends is heading over to collect all of my belongings for me. There are some important documents that I need for work in my room. I can't have you disposing of important documents like that.
I can't believe you're still pretending that you have a job. How much longer are you planning to use that lie? I guess I don't really care either way as long as you move out. Make sure that you never come back home. You need to realize that you're a nuisance to me and our parents. Hurry up and become a little independent. You're such a useless piece of trash.
You don't need to worry about me at all. I'm pretty sure that I'm never going to be seeing you ever again. I actually cared for you because you're my little brother. None of that matters anymore. Goodbye forever then. I'm sorry, but who is this? Is this a wrong number or a prank call?
Stop messing around like that. It's kind of an emergency. You know who I am. Don't pretend that you don't. I'm your brother.
What do you want from me? I thought that we weren't going to see or talk to each other ever again. You made that very clear when you ditched me in the middle of a mountain.
That doesn't matter anymore. I wasn't serious about that at all. I was just angry and frustrated. I didn't mean any of those things. I'm in some serious trouble right now, and I need your help. Would you please just answer the phone?
So, you're asking for help after you abandon me in the middle of a mountain? After you leave me stranded and alone with no food, water, or shelter? After you drive away with my phone and my car keys? What the hell do you want from me?
Who cares about that? You were fine, right? You managed to get out of the mountain alive. You found your way back to civilization and got a ride home. You're safe and sound now. It's not like anything bad happened to you.
That doesn't make it fine at all. It was dark and I had no signal on my phone at times. I had to walk for miles in the cold and the rain. It could have ended really badly.
So what? Do you want me to apologize or something? Fine, I'll say it. I'm sorry for what I did to you. There. Are you happy now?
I don't need your apology. I know that you don't really mean it. You're just saying it because you want something from me. You're just using me like you always do.
Would you just answer the phone already? I don't have all day, you know. I am in a lot of trouble thanks to you. It's your fault and you need to take responsibility.
What are you talking about? I never did anything to get you into trouble.
Is it really true that you were the one making the loan payments for this house?
You're asking me that now?
I had no idea about it. I thought that you were unemployed all this time. How did you earn the money to pay the loan for this house? It's not cheap at all.
How many times do I have to tell you that I'm not unemployed? Do you have the memory of a goldfish? You really need to start listening a little more.
How dare you say that to me? I'm much smarter than a goldfish. Actually, none of that matters right now. Mom and Dad are telling me to pay the loan fees and the utility bills for the house. They're saying that I am responsible because I was the one that kicked you out. It doesn't make any sense.
It makes total sense. I was paying for everything related to that house right up until you kicked me out. Did you not hear that I had started up my own company?
Wait, what? You have your own company?
Yeah, I am the CEO of an online shopping company. I've always told you that I work remotely from home. It's been several years since I started my company, and it's been really successful so far. I probably earn around 10 times more than what an average person earns.
Are you being serious about that? 10 times more?
Of course, I'm serious. There's no point in me lying about something like this.
I can't believe that you're a CEO of a company. Why didn't you tell me about this up till now? I also don't understand why you're still living with our parents. It doesn't make any sense. Surely you can live wherever you want then. If you earn that much money, you should be living in your own house already.
I had no other choice because mom and dad are in a huge amount of debt.
Wait, what did you just say?
I'm only living with them so that I can help them pay back all the money that they owe. I've been paying for all their living expenses as well. Dad is currently using his entire salary to pay off the debt. That's the reason I was living with them up until recently.
Mom and Dad are in debt? How? I thought that Dad had a pretty good salary. There's just no way they could be in debt.
You really do live in your own world, don't you? Our parents made a pretty big mistake, and that's why they're in debt right now. I also think that you've made a pretty big mistake too. There's a pretty big difference in the amount of money that me and you earn. I think that it's going to be financially difficult for you to live in that house right now.
I didn't know anything about this at all. It's not fair. Why didn't you warn me about this before I decided to move in?
I was waiting for an opportunity to talk to you about it. But you never seemed to answer any of my text messages, so I didn't have the chance. I thought I could talk to you about it when you asked me to go on that short road trip. I did not expect to get abandoned like that at all. You tried to completely erase my existence.
I actually had no bad intentions at all. It was all just a misunderstanding.
You stole my phone from me and left me alone in the mountain. I'm pretty sure that's got to be a crime. I only brought my second phone with me just in case. I wasn't too sure about what you were thinking. What do you think would have happened if I didn't have my second phone with me? You didn't think about that, did you? It could have been a very serious problem if I didn't have my second phone. I wouldn't have been able to call anyone for help if that happened.
You would have been completely fine. That's why I told you to wear some warm clothes. I was actually being really nice to you. You should thank me for my kindness.
Your kindness? What you did to me was not kind at all. I don't have any intention of forgiving you for what you did to me. In fact, I don't really see you as my brother anymore. You're a complete stranger to me.
Don't be like that. We're siblings. I also have no idea how I'm going to pay for any of this. I thought that I wouldn't have to pay for any of my living expenses if I lived with Mom and Dad.
I have no idea what you should do. You need to solve this problem yourself. You're an adult, right? You were the one that got yourself into this situation in the first place. You need to take responsibility for your actions.
The amount of money I'm being told to pay every month is absolutely ridiculous. I don't have that kind of money or income right now. I thought I'd finally be able to save some money if I moved in with Mom and Dad. I also have to pay off my credit card as well. I'm in a fairly large amount of debt too.
You're in debt as well? What's wrong with my family? I'm surprised you were looking down on me and making fun of me so much. It doesn't seem like you're doing that well in life at all.
I'm sorry for making fun of you. I thought that you were unemployed. I wouldn't have insulted you if I had known that you started up your own company. I really need your help right now. We're siblings, right? We're family, right?
I told you that I no longer see you as part of my family. In fact, I'm going to be cutting ties with you completely. I wouldn't want to be abandoned in the middle of the mountains again.
I promise I'll never do something like that to you ever again. I thought you were unemployed and needed someone to force you to become more independent. I was trying to do you a favor.
You can make up all the excuses that you want to. I'm still not planning on forgiving you at all. I'm also going to be leaving Mom and Dad in your hands. I think I've given them enough support already. I was paying for all their living expenses and loans for 3 entire years. I think it's your turn now.
I told you that I don't have enough money or income to do that. Please, would you just come back home? I'm sorry for everything that I did to you. Let's live together as a family again. I'm begging you.
I'm sorry, but I have no intention of forgiving you. I'm going to block you now because your text messages are starting to annoy me.
Wait, what? Are you seriously going to abandon me like this? We're family!
Stop saying that. I know that you never saw me as a family member at all. All you did was make fun of me this entire time. Have fun living with Mom and Dad again. I'm sure that the 3 of you are going to have a fantastic time. Brian had always looked down on me, thinking that I was unemployed and lazy. He had no idea that I had actually started my own successful company and was working from home. I was earning a fortune while Brian was struggling with his low-paying job. Brian didn't know that I had been paying all the living expenses and loans for our parents, who were in debt and had health problems. Brian decided to kick me out of my parents' house so that he could move back in without consulting anyone. He thought he was doing them a favor by getting rid of the useless brother. But he soon realized his mistake when he found out the truth. He tried to apologize to me and beg me to move back in with them, but it was too late. I had already blocked his number and cut off all contact with him. Brian ended up having to borrow a large amount of money along with our mom and dad, who were furious and disappointed with him. He really should have thought about it more carefully before kicking me out of the house. He should have respected and appreciated his brother more.